Hi everyone, my name's Audrey and I usually work with the strawberry bananas at Monkey Business Camp. And today, since we're all spending a little bit more time at home, I wanted to share something that I love to do at camp or at home whenever I have some fun free time, and that is making friendship bracelets. Got one on. Okay, so there are three main types of friendship bracelet. The simplest version is what I call the round version, which is this kind. You can see it's sort of circular. The next version is the candy stripe version, which, as you can see, has stripes going diagonally down. And the third version is the chevron version, which has this sort of like half diamond pattern that goes all the way down. The first step to making any kind of friendship bracelet is going to be the string. For all of the friendship bracelets that we're doing today, you probably want at least 5 strings, and in some cases 6. Here I have 5 different colors to make the first type of friendship bracelet. First, you want to measure each string to be about 30 inches, which means in this case you measure to about 12, and then 12 again, bringing it back, and then about to the 6 mark. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're gonna cut it right there. Once you have all your strings cut to the right length, you simply tie a knot at the very top of the strings. And you're ready to begin. I like to tape my friendship bracelet down to the floor just so that it won't be moving around while I work, but you can also tape it to your jeans or a safety pin or clip it to something, anything so that it's not moving when you pull on it. We're gonna start by making this first round type of friendship bracelet. And for all of these friendship bracelets, you basically only need to know one stitch. And that starts by taking one string and laying it out to the side of the others and creating a 4 by laying it back across the top. Looks like the number 4. Then you're going to take that string, you can lift up the others if that helps, and pull it through that loop that you made, creating this little loop that goes right around the rest of the strings, and you pull it up to tighten at the top. So again, you make the number 4 by laying this string across all the others. You reach underneath to pull the string through the loop and tighten that loop up at the top. One more time, you make that 4 by laying this string over the others, pulling the string up through the loop all the way through to create a smaller loop around all of the strings and tighten up at the top. You're going to repeat that until you have 8 little stitches up at the top. It's a little hard to see, but there are 8 little balls there like I have now. And once you do your last stitch, so we'll do our last stitch, I don't know if this is 8 or 9, but you do your last stitch and tighten up at the top, then it's time to switch colors. So you choose whichever color you want next. In this case, we're gonna do orange, and you just pull it out, regroup the first string with the rest of the strings, and do the same thing again. You make your 4 across the top, you pull that orange string through to create that loop, and you tighten up at the top. And then you just keep doing that for the rest of your 8 stitches so that you get about the same length in the orange color. So to give you an idea of what's happening close up here, you can see it's starting to create these little stitches which wrap around in sort of a diagonal spirally pattern around the big 4 strings in the middle. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way down your string to create the bracelet. So as you can see, we've added quite a few more colors in the same pattern that we were doing before. I repeated it twice now. So the blue, the orange, the white, the other color of blue, the darker blue, the orange, the white, and then we do the other color of blue. And you're just gonna keep this going until you have a length that wraps around your wrist. I like to make it a little bit longer than what you need to wrap around your wrist so that you're sure you would have a little bit of room to tie it with too at the end of your wrist. But just keep checking and wrapping it up around your wrist to see. The next type of friendship bracelet we'll be making is the candy stripe bracelet, which has these pretty diagonal stripes all the way down. To start off, I have 6 different strings. I find that 6 is the right amount to make it a nice thickness, but you can do it with 5 strings too. In this case, I've doubled one of the colors to get 6 strings, but you can do 6 different colors or all the same color, whatever you like. I find that to start, it makes it easier to have the strings all laid out and separated like they are here though. Once you have your colors, I like to lay them out like this so that I can see each of my strings separately. Now, like I said, you only need to know one type of stitch, and the same is true here. So what we're gonna do is start with the first 2 strings. By moving the rest of the strings over, we're gonna get them out of the way. And then starting with these first 2 strings, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we did on the last bracelet. We're gonna make our 4, but instead of doing it over all of our strings, this time we're just doing it over 1 string at a time. So we make our 4, we do the same looping, and we tighten it on just that 1 string up to the top. And then we're gonna do this 1 more time, and this is really important. You do it 2 times for each colored string all the way down. So now that I have it done on that one, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my next color. And this is where you can make them in the order you want. And again, I do my looping, making number 4, pulling it through, tightening at the top 2 times. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the rest of these strings. It can get a little bit messy for the first stitch, but it helps to put the strings you've already done off to the side. So to get a look close up, you can see that first row of stitches. It might not look the neatest, but I promise it's gonna get better as you add more rows. With our first row done, we can go ahead and start with the next color, starting again on the same side that we started before and leaving that last color over here. And once again, it's just going to be 2 of these big 4s all the way up to the top and keeping that going all the way through. And it's important that we're trying to go in the same order as we went in with this color. So the strings will sort of naturally separate themselves out, but you can help them once again by moving them around so you can see what you're working with. Our next color is going to be the lighter green. And we'll just keep doing this until we have gone all the way through all the colors once again with 2 stitches on each color. So now, as you have the second row done, things are starting to get a little bit neater, but I wanted to show you a trick. If you don't remember if you've done 2 stitches on each string or not, one thing you can do is flip it over and you can kind of see the 2 individual stitches on the back. So if you just have 1 done and you need to do another one, or if you have 2 done and you don't want to do 3, that's a good way to check. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add a few more rows. So as you can see, this method takes a little longer, but I think that the results are really cool. Like the last one, you're going to keep going until this is long enough to go all the way down here and stretch all the way around your wrist like this finished one is. And again, you can check by just lifting it up and over your wrist. So here we have our third type of friendship bracelet, which is this chevron pattern that looks like these pretty half diamonds all the way down. For this bracelet, it's important to have an even number of strings. In this case, I'm using 6 strings. For this bracelet, I used 8 strings, but you need to have an even number of strings in order to create these V's. It's also important that you lay your strings out so that the colors are in the same places on both sides. So in this case, I have the blue on the outside, the white in the middle, and the yellow here on the inside. This bracelet starts very much the same as the last one, where you're just going to go ahead and make that same 4 stitch on this. And just like the last one, just like the candy stripe, you want to always be doing 2 of those stitches and tightening up at the top. So you're taking your blue, which was your outside one, and you're working it through the white, which we just did, and the yellow, which are the 2 inside colors, until it reaches the middle. And here is where you want to stop, because you don't want to go over to the white and the yellow on this side. And this is where it gets a little bit different than the last kind. So to create the V where the 2 colors meet in the middle, you're going to start again on this outside piece, but instead of making the same 4 that we made before like this, you're going to turn the 4 around. So it's now a backwards 4. And this time you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go ahead and pull the string up through the center of the 4 and tighten it at the top. Once again, you're making a backwards 4 on this string. So backwards, like that. And again, you're just doing the same thing though, pulling it up through the center of the 4 and tightening that loop up at the top. And once again, you're going to do that with this yellow one, which is your second string that's in the middle, making your same backwards 4 here, pulling the string up through the middle and tightening at the top. And one more. Up through the middle, tightening at the top. This is the part where the V connects in the middle, so you can see how this is one continuous bracelet and not just 2 separate ones. What's going to happen is you're going to make your backwards 4 again with the blue, because you now should have your 2 blues in the middle. Make your backwards 4 again, and you're just going to do the same stitches on the other blue. So another backwards 4 for the blue, oops, in the middle. Now that you have your first set of stitches with the 2 in the middle secured together, you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing working all the way through. This side to the middle, this side to the middle, and securing them together. So you can see up close what this is beginning to look like. You can see those V's forming. This one definitely takes a little bit longer, just like the last one, but again, it's so pretty and it's really nice and methodical, a really nice repetitive task to do. And that's all 3 types of friendship bracelet. I hope to see you guys at camp soon. Bye!